I mean, I'd love to see Valtteri Bottas' sperm count.
What?
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, and welcome back to Crash Helmet Formula 1. It's been a while since we've been on the air, and I suppose if anybody was following us to any great detail, you would know it was due to personal and professional reasons. But look it, we're back, and we're here to chat shite. So, gentlemen, how's
Life's
life?
good.
Life's been okay. I'm still in Limerick. Yeah,
I'm
been grand.
I'm not in
Not
Limerick.
so bad. Yeah, we gathered, hence why we're all fucking Skyping one another to have this phone call.
Absolutely. We're back due to popular demand. That's the main thing.
Due to popular demand, yeah.
I think there was 5 people who were querying her disappearance from
We had
the
one
air.
lad from Finland asking us for updates on the channel. So this is for you. I can't remember who you were, but this is for you.
This is for you!
Sound to all the Finnish lads that we're looking for us to come back on the air.
Right?
So I suppose we'll start with like the biggest news since we've been gone. Charles Leclerc, young fella's going to Ferrari.
Is he?
He is.
I never could have guessed.
Well, to be fair, the last episode we had, a certain Jay Sherry, sorry that's too obvious, a certain Josh S. Said that Danny Rick had a pre-contract signed before.
This is only rumours.
Is that?
I don't remember saying this at all.
You did say it.
Well, you did.
Oh, maybe I did. I said a lot of stuff.
So what do we?
So you think?
Go on.
Go on. I say it's a good move on Ferrari's behalf. You know, they're biting the bullet.
It's the perfect move, and I genuinely believe Leclerc will win a title with Ferrari before Sebastian Vettel will.
Do you reckon?
I thoroughly agree with Evan. I think this is the only question. It's the only question. Will Ferrari get behind Leclerc, or will they put him in a number 2 position in his first season? I think they're going to go fully behind him. I think Vettel had his chance this year.
No.
He's clearly blown
For the benefit of the people who aren't going to see this video, Evan arose like a corpse to say no to that point. I'm going to have. I would say it's going to be very similar to how they ousted Schumacher in favour of Kimi Räikkönen in 07. Like I can see them favouring Leclerc straight from the off.
Agreed.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Because right
Why
now
not?
we know that Vettel is a better driver right now.
Do we?
Josh, Leclerc's done about 14 races. Leclerc has
And?
2 world
Doesn't ma-
4 world.
doesn't
No,
matter.
Vettel has 4 world championships.
But sure, when fucking Hamilton started at McLaren, Alonso had 2 world championships.
He did.
And Leclerc in his current poise is way more mature than Hamilton was in his first 3 seasons of F1. So I think he is more than capable of stepping up and winning a Formula 1 World Championship in his Ferrari debut season.
Will he beat Lewis?
I believe.
You think?
Yes. If the engines are on par, I reckon Ferrari do have the chance to beat them.
To beat Mercedes.
But it's going to come down. Yeah, they need to get a bit closer in aero parity. But in terms of engines, I think they're actually fairly close.
I generally think Ferrari have a clear car advantage this season. Like, I know it kind of ebbs and flows depending on the circuit, but at the majority of the circuits, Ferrari have had a better car all season. And it's all down to poor strategy and Vettel's errors. That's the only reason why Hamilton's leading the championship. Well, plus Hamilton's been incredible.
He has had a very consistent season, to be fair to him.
Ever since you predicted that he wouldn't get a podium after Australia.
Pole
position, that was it.
Pole
Yeah.
position. To be fair, I was correct for the first 4 races of the season, and then we went off the air.
He got a pole in Australia though. Let's not forget that. Anyway,
Yeah.
lads, look, we're doing it again. Let's get back to Leclerc. Let's get back to Leclerc. Josh,
Can I just take one little...
where's Josh? Oh, there.
Hello.
Hello, Josh.
I'm enjoying your tune at Eben and Froen.
Did you just take my words that I used?
He did, but he used the wrong expression.
Go on, Josh.
I fully believe Leclerc is going to have a fantastic season next year with Ferrari. I think he's got a great chance. The papers, the fans are beginning to turn against Vettel. Singapore, Monaco, Monza were major turning points. Like, I am definitely a fan, and anybody but Hamilton fan. But the last 3 races, I've been swayed.
What?
He has severely impressed me.
Severely impressed him.
Severely. Yeah, to consider him at this point in his career, where he's focusing on other things, to still race at an amazing level, that is, there's no other words for it.
Like, Josh, if you look at his record in the last 5 races, in his last 5 races, he's finished first, second, first.
And we're in the Mercedes weak point of the season, and look, it pains me to say it. It does.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Yeah, I think it's true. I thought, can we speak of Max Verstappen?
We can.
Lewis said his quali lap in Singapore was possibly the greatest lap he ever set.
Okay.
For Max to go 3/10 slower and put it in second in that Red Bull,
Oh, it was brilliant.
I thought it was a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was probably, if you look at the telemetry, it was probably a better lap than Lewis's.
He held more speed through the corners when you look at the telemetry.
Well, he was having issues with his engine cutting out as well, wasn't he?
Not in qualifying though.
Or false neutrals, wasn't it? It was false neutrals because it was plaguing him during the race as
Yeah,
well.
when he pulled away from his box and behind the safety car, he was getting neutrals.
Yeah.
Are you buying into the Red Bull conspiracy theories that Renault was supplying them with
Dodgy engines.
Diesels.
dodgy software for their engines?
It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Would they do it to Ricciardo, considering they're getting Ricciardo?
Yes.
Well, they're not really doing it to Ricciardo. What are they doing? Like, they're fucking over a supplier, a buyer team that just isn't going to use them anymore.
I mean, like, Renault
care?
are the kind of, like, Red Bull are the kind of team who will have sex with you and then not even give you a fucking cigarette afterwards. Like, they win 4 world championships with Renault engines, and then they just fucking... And then they just throw them under the bus the first season. They haven't got an engine as good as Mercedes. Like, it's just pathetic. Red Bull are...
Why though?
Why what? Why are they pathetic?
Well, like, Renault Nissan is arguably a larger group than Daimler-Benz. They have the resource to make a better engine. Why didn't they? And they've had how many? They've had 4 seasons to catch up, and they haven't even come close.
Because they're French. Simple as.
So is that why Esteban Ocon's leaving as well?
No, because as Toto said, nobody has the balls to sign him. And do you know what? Fuck you, Toto. If you had the balls, you would have put him in the Merc instead of Bottas. You spineless bastard.
No, fuck. Okay, fuck Toto. Toto's giving everyone else grief for not fucking employing Ocon. But why doesn't he not just put his money where his mouth is and put him in the Williams
He
seat?
fucking should.
Because even Toto doesn't like Williams at this stage anymore.
We love Williams though.
No, we don't.
I don't love Williams, but I'm growing fond of Sirotkin.
Sirotkin had a great drive at the weekend.
I don't think he deserved a penalty for what he did to Brendan Hartley.
Oh, he
Come
did.
on, it was fucking
he did.
desperate. Oh my god.
Oh, he definitely did. But I think the penalty should have been revoked considering what Perez did to him. That was filthy.
So this is a good point. If someone fucks you over, the driver who fucked you over gets a 5-second penalty, but yet you still get fucked over. If you then receive a 5-second penalty in the race, should they cancel each other out?
No.
Since you got fucked up earlier.
I'd love to see you implement these rules with the FIA. Forget, we won't worry about the penalty. It's all right. You can leave it.
Carry the one, and that cancels.
Can you imagine that? You'd crash into someone, but then the lad you crash into goes and does something stupid as well. So then you get a radio message 2 laps later. Don't worry about your penalty, it's grand. He did something worse, so we're even.
Okay, I want to speak about
Romain Grosjean.
Romain Grosjean.
How
Yes.
did I guess?
Because credit is due. Since we've been off the air, he has drove fantastically well and has been best of the rest. He has qualified consistently.
Seventh.
He's taken over the Hulkenberg position. And the moment in which, not a trifle after we said we were coming back, he loses his shit and is now 3 penalty points away from a race ban.
Josh, I think it's you. I think he's afraid of you.
I think I'm intimidating him severely. I think severely is clearly the word of the day. He's a in the closet crash helmet F1 fan, and
do you reckon he'd ever come on?
No.
Do you reckon he ever come out of the closet?
Oh, Jesus. He has a wife and kids, man.
And Lewis banged Nicole Scherzinger. Okay.
We're not going to allude to any Formula 1 driver's sexuality.
I have no problem if he's,
Who, Lewis?
He can be a pineapple for all I care.
And live under the sea.
But Josh, would you like to repeat some of the language you've used to describe Romain Grosjean in the past?
My memory's not that good.
I'm gonna.
A thundering.
That's it. I was just about to say in a Monaghan dialect. I remember you saying, "Oh, he's an awful cunt."
He is an awful cunt, and he's talking about staying in F1 for the next, until he's 40. How old is he now?
But Josh, you have to admire a man that's willing to persevere like that.
No. No, you just can't. You couldn't like him if you reared him.
He's got the personality even a mother couldn't have.
Josh.
Okay, so from a racing driver's view, which none of us are, where do you stand on his ignoring of the blue flags?
Ridiculous.
Well, the blue flag rules is fairly clear.
Yeah.
So it should be a kid.
Yeah. If you get blue flags, get out of the way. Don't continue racing. And if you're forced off track...
But don't you... It's not that clear. It's if you're blue flag, don't you have...
2 corners, I think?
Yeah, 3 corners, I thought.
3 corners it is, yeah.
But bear in mind, this was going on for like a lap, and he was racing wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
With Sorokin.
But no, in fairness, 3 corners in Singapore is it's a lot different to 3 corners, say in Spa. The distance between them, so that's a very inconsistent rule. It should be a time. As soon as you get your first blue flag, you should have
half a second,
5 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, Josh, I think that's a good idea.
But actually, yeah, I'd be inclined to say that's a good idea as well.
Like, let's just.
You are saying this as if it's my first.
No, because 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes ago you just said that you should cancel out penalties if another driver does something stupid. No, it's not. But this is a good idea. Credit where credit is due, Josh. We don't often say it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. You know what else I think is a good idea, gentlemen?
What?
Ferrari's camera cooling devices as of late.
Oh, it's not as good as the bag.
I don't know, the bag was a bit classless, but now their fan blowing what I presume to be dry ice onto it is quite the system.
Josh doesn't know what we're talking about.
Oh, I seen something on Sky Sports F1 about a bag over a camera, and I was like, this is about cooling camera bags. I was like, this is some load of bollocks. How is this interesting?
What happened was
because
wasn't it the live feed to F1 TV or something, and it didn't cut off while the mechanics were working on the engine, and basically whoever has F1 TV could then view the inner workings of the Ferrari power unit.
Yeah.
That should be allowed.
Oh, absolutely.
Should it though? Why should it be allowed?
Yeah, we just said it should be allowed. Yeah.
The gospel according to fucking Josh.
Should it be allowed? Yes, there we go. Thank you. Next.
So then, should every team have to publish X amount of data on their engine?
Look, Formula 1 is a spectator-based sport.
It's not. Don't lie.
Some of the poorest coverage of any sport to behind closed doors. Like, it's stupid.
It's a business.
It's a business, yeah.
And its business is marketing.
It is. It's more so than like for the spectacle. Because Evan, you watched your first NASCAR race there at the weekend,
I did.
and it caused
How
mind
was it?
fuckery of the greatest degree to
It
you.
was brilliant marketing, but terrible racing.
But there was a lot more overtaking than we'd seen in F1 track.
Yeah, I'd hope so. When you look at it,
Was there any? Did anyone crash and burn?
Multiple.
I noticed a couple of things while I was watching it. There's people wearing Michael Jordan gloves. There was a guy in a full M&M race suit. It was fantastic. And there's a lot of inbred looking people in it. But that's about my 2 cents now on NASCAR.
M&M as in the rapper, or M&M as
Like
in the
M&M,
chocolate confectionery?
the coated
The
sweeties.
confectionery.
Can we get back to Formula One? We've been
No, hang on. I want to talk more about this M&M suit. Like what color?
Yellow.
Was it the? Oh, it was the peanut one.
or it could be the crunchy ones
Yes.
either. No, the crunchy one's blue.
The crunchy ones are blue. They're the best ones.
All right. Can we get back to F1?
So we've established that from Ferrari's telemetry being exposed to the public, that the crunchy M&M is the best one. Boys, we're only back fucking 15 minutes and we're ready in the swing of things. Do you know that?
Yeah, we're back to our best.
Yeah.
Back to our
So
best.
Do you think that there should be a championship run-in to Formula One? So not have a points finish to the end of the season, but rather a last day answer.
Okay, Finton, you need to
So
explain
does-
this idea again for our new listeners.
Okay.
If they've got this far.
So, for the last, we'll say, 7 races of the season, we take the top 8 drivers and the points. Or the top 8 drivers with the most wins, and then, or points if they don't have a win. And then at each race, the lowest finisher of those 8 drivers is eliminated onto the last day of the season when you have 2 drivers going head to head for the championship.
And what did that mean to last year's F1 season?
It meant that Kimi Räikkönen would have been facing Valtteri Bottas going into Abu Dhabi.
And that's why it's
And-
wrong.
No, because Valtteri Bottas would have fucking dominated that weekend and won the championship. Because Valtteri Bottas...
Evan's right. That's why it's wrong.
No. But what I'm saying is, right, is that Valtteri Bottas... That shows that Valtteri Bottas was the most consistent driver for the last third of last season.
Yeah, because he did fuck all.
He's spineless. I mean, I'd love to see Valtteri Bottas' sperm count.
What?
It has to be insanely low because there's no jizz, there's no go.
There's no jizz in him.
He's mind-numbingly boring.
But he's Finnish. It's what they do
Like
best.
who could? No. Kimi does it best.
Kimi's interesting.
Valtteri's
Oh,
boring.
he's so boring, Finton.
Like, how could you sponsor him? If Valtteri came knocking on your door, you wouldn't give him a $5 for the raffle for the local fucking children's hospital. You just couldn't.
Christ. Jesus Christ. Look,
So, Josh,
go on.
would you say you're partial or impartial to providing fivers for local hospice children?
No, I'll give them the $5. Valtteri's just not going to sell it well.
Look, the highlight of Valtteri's career is the controversy he caused holding up Raikkonen in Italy. He's done nothing since then. Oh no, he's done nothing before that either. Like, yeah, he came close to winning 2 races earlier in the season in Baku in China, but like, he's been severely underwhelming. And in both of his seasons now in Merc, he's had slumps mid-season where he's just been absolutely pasted by Hamilton.
Okay, Evan, can you stop? Because I'm going to fall asleep. Because you talking about Valtteri is as boring as Valtteri. Okay, so
Can we stop
can we
talking
move
about
on from
Valtteri
that?
then?
Lads, can we
Okay.
take this with a pinch of salt though? Because we're saying that Lewis is driving some of the best he's driven in his life, and we're complaining that Valtteri Bottas isn't able to keep up with that.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Lewis is driving so well it's making Bottas look even more shit than he actually is.
Yeah.
This is true.
Lewis is making Bottas look like what Vettel made Kimi look like.
I'd say Kimi looks worse in the face of Vettel, despite all his errors, than
No,
Bottas
no.
has done. Bottas has been the
Disagree.
perfect Mark Webber.
Kimi's
He's-
third in the championship.
When was Bottas racist this year?
What?
What? What?
All of them.
To be a perfect Mark Webber, you have to be insanely racist.
Where are you taking this from?
Yeah, where?
When Mark Webber was interviewed on Top Gear about his new teammate Sebastian Vettel, Jeremy Clarkson asked him, "What do you think of him?" And he was like, "He's all right considering his nationality."
Well, that's not racist. That's like a white man saying that the whitest man is an issue because of how white he is.
He is.
What?
Look, I'm sure someone somewhere had an issue with what he said.
Okay.
We're 20 minutes in now. Can we talk about the Singapore Grand Prix?
What about the other fucking 9
boring.
Grand Prix that we've missed out on?
They don't care about them anymore.
Hang on. I have a suggestion for a new system.
Go on.
Because the season is now over. There's no point watching any more races because it's over. So instead, it should be done like this, like they used to do the Scottish SPL Championship. So halfway through the season, you divide it out into a cup and like a relegation battle. So the top 6 drivers go into their own league, and then they race out the rest of the season with each other.
This is the same as Finton's idea.
No, it's different.
Fitness is
small...
like knockout.
Yeah.
This is like a league based. So you get the best 6 drivers, send them off, let them do their thing, and then you've got the midfield cup, and let the midfield fight out for a cup, and then you've got the backfield where they fight out for a little trophy.
The backfield.
And the
backfield.
Look, it's just Stroll and Sorokin, okay, but let them do it.
Do what? That's the only fucking silverware Williams are going to get this year. Actually, that might be a good idea.
They're still 11th in a 10-team championship, though.
They are,
yeah.
which is impressive.
It's very impressive. I think there should actually be a Formula 1.5 championship, excluding Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. Whoever goes best of the rest.
I would have to say at the moment it's Ferrari, Mercedes, and Toro Rosso would be in the main championship, because Toro Rosso is effectively a factory Honda at this point in time.
No.
Stop talking shit.
But you know I'm right.
No, it's Red Bull.
Constructors. It's each of the constructors. So you'd have Ferrari,
Renault.
Mercedes, Renault, and Toro Rosso.
Oh no, sorry. Josh, it's Renault.
Renault, yeah. Do you know who is the... Look, lads, question.
Look, you're the only one here with no video.
Who's the 4th best team this year?
Renault.
Have you ever thought
No,
that
Racing Point Force India.
If Van Dorn wasn't so shite, McLaren would be 4th.
I don't know, because even Alonso hasn't been doing much in the car.
Alonso was 8th in the championship, 3 points behind Hulkenberg.
Because he had a good start to the season.
He's had a good season.
He has, like, he's driving a shitbox, which is actually slower than last year's McLaren.
If McLaren had 2 Alonsos, they would be if they had 2 Alonsos, they would be 9 points ahead of Renault.
And if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle.
Yeah, but look, I think it has to be taken into account that Van Dorn's making McLaren look a lot worse than they are.
He is so bad. Oh, he's shocking. He's shocking.
He's 2 points. He's 2 points ahead of Lance Stroll at this point in the championship.
Oh God.
Bear that in mind. He's only 5 points. Sorry, he's only 7 points ahead of Sergei Sorokin.
3 men who haven't got hands to fucking wipe their arses.
Yeah. On the bright side, though, right? Actually, gentlemen, this is going to tickle you a bit. Marcus Ericsson is behind Lance Stroll in the driver's standings.
What?
No, he's tied.
No, he's behind him. They're the same. They're the same points, but Lance Stroll has a more higher place finishes. So Lance Stroll is actually ahead of Marcus Ericsson on countback.
Christ,
that's bad.
But Ericsson, just every season you look at Ericsson.
Ericsson's done really well. No, Ericsson doesn't deserve any criticism at all.
He's driving a better car than Lance Stroll.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Leclerc's been getting Q3s in it.
Okay, Evan. I don't know if you're looking at the table, but how many points do you think Charles Leclerc has? Let's say so. Ericsson has 6.
Leclerc's 15th in the standings, isn't he?
Yeah, but how many points has he got? Romain Grosjean's 14th.
Yeah, but the Haas is much better than the Sauber.
Leclerc has 19 points.
15.
He's 15.
15. Ah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but if you're saying there that Romain Grosjean is 27, Kevin Magnussen in the same car is 49.
But hasn't Ericsson had a lot of 11th place finishers?
He has.
Yeah, when say Leclerc was picking up 9th places or 8th. You know, he's just missing out by 1 or 2 spots, and that's probably what Leclerc, a future world champion, is. You know, he's better than him. So what do you expect?
You have to remember,
Ericsson's paid for his drive. He's come from nowhere, and he's developed himself into. You know, he's no longer an embarrassment.
he isn't an embarrassment.
Yeah.
But this could also be his last season because Ferrari are trying to get Giovinazzi in instead of him.
To be fair, Giovinazzi's not fucking overly impressive either.
No, he's not.
Like, he ran Gasly to the wire, and like, Gasly's good, like, but he's boring as fuck to watch, like.
If you wanted Giovinazzi in that badly, you'd send Kimi to the retirement home.
Jesus.
But he's probably worth holding on to because I'd say he sells a lot of merchandise.
Is Gasly better than Ricciardo?
Much of a muchness, I would say.
I reckon they're close.
They are quite close. Like, I think Ricciardo's overrated, to be honest.
No, I think so as well. Ricciardo has done nothing since Monaco.
In terms of
I know the Red Bull's done nothing for him since Monaco.
True, but in terms of overtaking, he has one of the best in the grid. But in terms of like actually keeping a race together, he's by no means an impressive driver.
Oh no, he's very hit and miss. But like the thing is, when you consider Gasly and Ricciardo, they're quite similar in talent and speed and everything.
Yeah.
From a personality side of view, you're going to have Ricciardo tenfold over him just because Gasly's a boring fuck.
I don't think Gasly's that boring.
He's French.
He strolled into the pits with a bird in his arm the day after he got offered the Red Bull drive, and he was talking about how he missed I don't know who's the head of Red Bull that does all the hiring. I don't know, HR
Marco.
or something. Yeah, Marco. Yeah. Why not? So he was saying he was on his friend's boat, and his friend threw his phone into the sea. So he told the lads at Red Bull to
That's
call
Kimmy.
his mate. No, this is not
You're
Kimmy.
chatting horseshit.
I'm not.
Okay,
And
go on.
his mate just kept dodging Marco's calls because he thought it was a weird number.
Oh no!
Oh,
actually,
you're right.
he is
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Sorry, Josh.
Yeah,
Wankers, pair of wankers.
But let's not forget he also had a Logan Paul haircut at the time, and that's not forgivable.
I'll tell you what's not forgivable. At one point in the season, Danny Rick was 40 points ahead of Max Verstappen.
22 behind now.
22 behind him, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's had a rough patch since Monaco.
Fucking Jesus.
Does that just
Go on.
Does that just prove that Vettel could turn around to 40 points behind Hamilton?
Be difficult. Be very
Would be
difficult.
difficult.
Josh, stop heavy breathing down the microphone, please.
Sorry, I was contemplating whether or not Max could catch Bottas.
I was looking at that as well. But I was looking, there's only 3 points between Bottas and Raikkonen. And if Bottas pulls the finger out, he'll definitely overhaul Raikkonen, which would mean Verstappen could possibly overhaul Raikkonen as well.
Yeah, but I just don't think the Red Bull will have the pace and a lot of circuits to come.
I want Bottas to finish 6th in a championship for 2 reasons.
Go
1,
on.
he's boring. 2, it makes Lewis look better.
That's,
If Lewis wins the championship and Bottas finishes 6th, Lewis won the championship in the 3rd best car.
What? I mean, I'm at a loss as to what was just said there.
So am I.
So who do we reckon then is going to replace Gasly at Toro Rosso? And Hartley at Toro Rosso? Because let's face it, Hartley's gone at the end of the season as well.
Dan ticked him.
He doesn't have the super license points.
Be grand.
Danny Kvyat.
There's talk.
Viet and Dan.
Because Danny wasn't far off Danny Rick when they were... Or Max. Was it Max? Yeah, he wasn't far off Max in Toro Rosso.
No, Max was never teammates with Danny Kvyat. He was teammates with Carlos Sainz. Kvyat was teammates with Ricardo.
Oh,
Kvyat
I was just
actually
going
beat
off
Ricardo.
fucking facial expressions, frowning at me when I said Danny Rick. Fuck you. Putting
Kvyat
down my
actually
mind.
Kvyat beat Ricardo in 2015.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. He's shit hot, man. Definitely a world champion in the future.
Well, like, he's been Ferrari's test driver since they've sacked him from Red Bull.
And now he's going to make a lovely comeback to Toro Rosso. Like, that's spineless. Getting sacked, going to Ferrari, and then coming back.
The thing is,
Who else is on the market?
Vern.
Vern openly said he doesn't want to compete for 10th.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's happy enough in Formula E.
Yeah, we would have loved the Jazz.
He does not want to come back. He doesn't.
Nah, he's buried the hatchet with the whole thing. He didn't give a fuck.
What's Max Chilton doing these days?
Max is driving
Racing IndyCar.
IndyCar, yeah.
How's he getting on?
I think he was doing all right, wasn't he?
Did he not lead the Indy 500 last year for a few laps?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he did. Right after Alonso had his engine failure, he led Indy 500 for a few laps.
All right.
Then he was overtaken, obviously, because he's shit.
Hold on, I'll take another look here to see now the standings for IndyCar. See how young Max is doing.
Is there any chance of Ocon getting the Toro Rosso drive?
Ocon.
No.
Well, highly unlikely. Max Chilton.
Why would
Max Chilton.
Sorry, go on.
Max Chilton finished 19th out of
19.
41.
20. Mid-table. Huh.
Solidly mid-table, to be fair to him.
But how many of them 41 didn't compete in all races?
Yeah, a lot of people just do the Indy 500.
Out of people who competed in all races, he was 19th out of about 30.
17.
No, he was
17.
Similar to the Williams.
You know what? Max has had his chance. I think it's time to bring Tom Chilton into Formula 1.
Tom Chilton. I once worked with a guy who worked with Tom Chilton and said Tom Chilton was even more daft than fucking Max. So.
Oh, he is. Oh, Max is the brains, the operation.
Tom is brain dead.
Oh, Tom is thick. Like, he has to borrow brain cells at the weekend to do a race. Like, he is so bad. Have you ever watched him in
BTCC?
British Touring Car Championship? Yeah. Or have you ever seen him on Take Me Out with Paddy McGuinness?
Oh yes, I did see him on Take Me Out with Paddy McGuinness.
Shocking. Yeah.
To be fair to the lad, right? He just fucking did what he loved, though. Like, you can't dislike a man for that. Like,
no, I don't at all. I'd probably swap lives with him.
Yeah.
Like, the man couldn't have a care in the world. He's shit tons of money, and he just goes out and fucking races around Donington sausages at the weekend.
What? Races around.
What he is, he's the better version of like Kevin Shane. You don't know who Kevin Shane is, that's fine, but forget what I just said.
Okay, we will. That whole section's just getting cut.
Oh, I'm not arsed editing any of this. I don't know if you will be either.
We're nearly we're over half an hour in. Do you really think anyone's going to still be listening?
Probably.
We're half an hour in with about 5 minutes of F1 talk.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, next. McLaren, Sainz and
Norris.
Russell?
Norris. Russell, no.
Norris. Mix them up. What's the difference?
It's going to be
It's a good lineup.
Massively underwhelming. It's going to be so fucking drab. Like, the team is the kind of team that Ron Dennis would have assembled. Like, the two fellas, kind of borrowing Jeremy Clarkson's remark on Audis, they're like German cement salesmen. That is how fucking boring an interview is going to be with that team. But there's no life in
Sainz is good.
Sainz is alright, and there's no life in Norris at all. Like,
Norris hasn't won a race since round 1 of the F2 season.
Are you serious?
No, he won the very first race and he hasn't won since then. I don't even think he's been higher than second since then.
Well, if he was higher than second, he would have won.
Well, no, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Russell's won what, 6 races?
I have no idea, to be honest.
And Russell's had loads of mechanical issues. Yeah. That's another thing. Where do we put Russell? Like, Russell should get a seat next year.
Why should he?
Russell should replace Bottas.
The problem is,
No, I put Ocon.
would you take Ocon over Russell?
For the future, no. Right now, I'd like to give Russell a season or two in a lower team. Like, if Mercedes had any balls, they would have invested in Force India and used it as their junior team.
What's the chances of Mick Schumacher going straight into F1?
He won't. He may have the points if he wins the Formula 3 season.
Will he?
He should do.
Does the
Yeah.
new-
Because
Does the new system not basically mean you have to win? You have to compete in F2 to get enough points?
no, because you
No.
need 50 points to get in, and I think F2 is the only one that offers 50 because the winner of F3 gets like 30, but because he's won enough races beforehand, he's actually got points built up already. So if he wins Formula 2, he should have enough points. I don't know if he finishes second if he's enough or not.
Oh, you mean if he wins Formula 3?
Sorry, Formula 3, yeah.
But I wouldn't put him straight in. I'd put him in F2 first.
A season in F2 would do him more good. Or
Yeah.
if he has a bad season in F2, it could fuck him up emotionally for going into F1.
Well, like, but let's put it this way: emotionally, what he's going through with his father, I think he's pretty fucking sturdy, regardless of what goes on in the track.
Yeah. Well,
If he could,
if you look at it right, but he is hot. He has hot and cold spells because, like, if you look at the first half of the first fucking 2/3 of the Formula 3 season, he was absolutely nowhere, and then
I think
he got that first
I wouldn't
win, and it's been fucking difficult for him to finish any lower than. He hasn't finished lower than fourth. Sorry, I think he had the fifth in the third race at Silverstone.
he won all 3 races at the Nürburgring last weekend.
I'll put it to you this, right? Since he won the third race at Spa, it has been win DNF, win fifth, win third, fifth, win.
That's
Yeah.
like the exact opposite of Michael Bartel's Formula 1 career.
Yeah,
Another German.
madness.
Oh God.
Right,
so like
so
Mick Schumacher,
What about Alexander Albon?
he's good, man.
He's good.
I'd put him in Toro Rosso.
Like he's in a poor the Dams team doesn't deserve to be winning races in F2 this year.
Why?
What? Dams are good in F2.
Yeah.
They're shit in GP3.
Are they? But he's completely
Yes, they
outshining
are.
his teammate.
No, we'll ask Loic. We'll text Loic after this and ask him about Dams.
Ask him how shit is he. In all
Because
honesty,
Loic knows Dams better than any of us.
he does.
And I'm
You know-
just talking through my whole based on 10 seconds of looking on Wikipedia.
Who do Dams have? Alex Albon and Latifi. Latifi's shite.
But Latifi's oil boy owns somebody now. Who did his oil boy buy? His oil boy like bought a big share in some F1 team lately.
McLaren.
McLaren, you're right. So
But yet they gave Norris to see.
yeah, well, I have to fucking ask like why or like what's the story? Are they going to put him into Norris's old seat at Carlin? Maybe.
What do you make of the new bromance on the F1 grid? Max and Lewis. Max
and
saying
Lewis?
it was not fair to try to overtake held up Lewis behind traffic.
Josh
And
is like
they've been
just googling things now.
No, I haven't at all. I swear.
What, saying it's not fair to overtake Lewis when he was being blocked by traffic.
Yeah.
I think that's just him bullshitting and trying to sound nicer, because if he actually had a proper chance to do it behind traffic, he 100% was going to.
No, I think it looked like he did sit in behind him.
Do you think so?
It was a bit like
It was odd, like, because it was kind of the place that Max would have really just fucking binned it down the inside to see what happens next.
And then Vettel would have won the
Yeah.
race.
it's a bit like your man, the beautiful French fella. What was his name? From the 60s, Jackie
Francois Sever.
Francois Sever. He refused to overtake Jackie Stewart because he missed a gear in a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And he said after the race, it was just, I'm not going to overtake you because you miss a gear.
I'd take a chance to win any race. I'd take half a chance.
Have you a bollocks?
What?
You're a bollocks.
Oh, I am a bollocks, yeah.
You're another,
And so is Max.
You're another Grosjean, like.
No, Grosjean's just a fucking idiot.
Actually, here's one. What's Pascal? What's Pascal Wehrlein doing these days?
No, he's ready for the
Dropped.
duel.
He's been dropped by Merck.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah.
What about the Toro Rosso seat?
He's sat outside the post office on a Wednesday morning waiting to collect his money.
They don't do it at the post office anymore. They do it at the social welfare office though.
They do it at the post office in my town.
Jesus. Fucking far from society you are.
Says the guy from Donegal.
I wouldn't take him at Toro Rosso. There's no point. He's used goods. Been round the...
He isn't actually that good.
He was alright. Like, he wasn't fantastic by any stretch of the imagination.
He barely beat Ericsson.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, but
Like,
Ericsson's unbelievable.
Ericsson did crash into Grosjean for you, Josh, without actual contact. Like, you know, he's the dream man for you.
I know. I love him.
Any more things to spitball for us there, Josh?
What do you make Claire, or should I say Robert Kubica?
Oh, Jesus. Kubica, like, the fella should have given up on the dream a long time ago. He should have went to Formula E, where he could bring his racing talents, the cars handy to drive, and he could have looked amazing. But instead, he hung about like a bad smell in the F1 paddock, trying to get a drive. And nothing's going to happen.
He might get.
It's very tragic.
He may get the Williams drive next year.
He would.
Which he might as well be in Formula E.
Dude, for fuck's sake.
It's fairly tragic.
Yeah. So how many years can Williams string this along before they fold, or someone buys them out?
Realistically, they could close at the end of regulations if they're not careful. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucked, man. They have no money, no talent.
Well, if you think next season, they've lost Stroll's money, they've lost the Unilever money, they've lost the Martini money, they've lost the Kempsey money already from Bottas, so they've got no sponsorship.
They could lose Sorokin's money.
They've got JCB.
They've got JCB. No, they won't, because Stroll's going to Force India.
Okay.
Stroll's Howlboy like owns JCB or whatever.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, shit.
So like they've got no sponsorship next season. Worth of shit.
It's just gonna be a plain white car.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
What did you make of?
I think
we was watching quali when Williams put the two cars in. Well, put Stroll into Q3, and I think Strachan he qualied 11th.
Yeah.
In Monza.
Yeah, Monza. I just don't understand Claire's facial expression. Like, it's the exact same when they make it to Q3 than when they quali 19th and 20th.
But her father was a very stoic man as well.
You just swear she wasn't even watching the screen. It's like, look, your car just made it into Q3 for the first time this year. It's the first time ever in a Formula 1 season that all cars have made it into Q3.
Sorokin hasn't made it into Q3.
All cars, I said.
Okay. Yeah.
The thing about Williams is I actually
they always try and walk it in.
No, like walk it in. Yeah. I think Williams' only hope of actually staying afloat is if Mercedes buy into them as like a junior team. And I know Williams from a pride point of view won't want to do that, but like that's their only way of staying afloat. Like if they bite the bullet, take funding from Mercedes, put George Russell in a seat and Ocon, like that's their only way forward.
Mercedes don't look very willing to give Williams any funding, as in they're not even willing to put one of their junior drivers in their team and pay his wages.
That's because they're giving fucking Lewis Hamilton fucking 50 million a year. They can't afford it.
I'm fairly sure they can afford it if they tried to.
Quick crying poverty. You just go away.
I just remembered I have a signed Mercedes hat by Esteban Ocon.
That's pointless information for the podcast, but thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. So like let's talk about Ocon and Russell. Where do they go? Like the Mercedes junior program is fucking shit if they can't find seats for their
they've
drivers.
also pulled out a DTM, so they don't have their traditional way of just fucking putting fellas out to pasture for a while.
Yeah, so like What's going to happen with them?
It's very hard to say what's going to happen with them. Like, Russell can stay in F2. He's safe enough. But
if Ocon moves away for a year,
yeah,
is he ever coming back?
It'd be difficult for him because
I can see him taking Bottas' seat at the end of next year.
Yeah, but where do you put Russell then? That'd be 3 seasons out of a seat.
Yeah, because if Russell wins the F2 this year, he can't race in F2 next year.
Can you not?
No, if you win F2, you can't race in it the following
didn't know that
season.
at all.
Yeah. Fuck Mercedes. Russell needs to get out of that program, or get a Mercedes drive. It'll either go brilliantly for him or terribly.
So,
like, how many years is left in Lewis?
Lewis is going to stay there till he retires.
Oh, I know he'll stay till he retires.
Well, we've got our intro part anyway.
Yeah, Lewis is going to stay there until he retires.
Extra, read all about it.
Oh, like what I'm trying to say is that Lewis is going to stay in F1 for donkey's years because he's got no life outside of it. Like,
he's more of a life outside of Formula 1 than probably most other Formula 1 drivers.
Not really. Like, if you look at Vettel, Grosjean...
Okay, any of them who don't
Kimi.
have families.
Well, who doesn't have families? Most of the young fellas are only like fucking 21, 22. Like, you can't expect them to have families, really. Like, if you think about it, like there is like a big generational gap in the middle of the grid. Like, they're either near 30 or over 30, or they're in their early 20s.
They're either near 30 or over 30.
Yeah.
Or in their early 20s. So anywhere from 20 to 35.
What I'm saying is that there's nobody kind of from like the age of about 22 to about 27. You see what I'm saying? There's like a gap in the middle of the grid. What age is
Ocon? 22?
That's what I'm saying. They're nobody between 22 and 27, realistically.
What age is Magnussen? He's 25.
Is that all he is?
Hey!
How old is Sorokin?
I don't know.
26.
He's 26.
Hold on, I'll take a look here. Sergey.
I'm doing it now, but I don't know how to spell Sorokin.
Sorokin's 23.
Rotkin.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
August 27th, 95. What age is fucking the other fella? I can't remember. No, Stroll's only like 21. Yeah, that's
Van
the fella.
Doren.
He's like, what, 26, isn't he?
I think he's only 22.
Is he really? But like, he's been around a long time. He's 26.
Oh, he's 26. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it because he was old one in GP2. Lance Stroll's only 19.
Yeah, we knew that.
No, I thought he was like 21.
I think we should kind of find something to round up on.
It's kind of just getting fucking shite talk, isn't it, altogether?
It's been shite talk.
So what's the next race? Russia.
Oh yeah.
What's your predictions for Russia?
Bottas.
Hamilton wins.
Yeah. Bottas out of nowhere. Okay, so Hamilton wins. Who's second? Who's third?
Bottas.
Bottas is gonna win.
I'm going to say it now, lads,
year.
right? Hamilton's not going to be in pole.
I'm gonna say Vettel pole, Vettel wins, Hamilton second, Raikkonen third.
I'm going to
That's my
say
prediction.
Vettel pole, Hamilton win, Raikkonen second, Vettel third.
Ooh, that means Hamilton have a 50-point lead.
I actually didn't listen to that. What?
You'll hear it back in the loop.
Name your podium.
Okay, well I'm just after
For
looking
Russia.
up the betting odds.
Oh Jesus
It's going
Christ.
Lewis, Seb, Valtteri, Kimi, Danny Rick, Max.
So in other words, the top 6 in the order of the top 6.
Correct.
With Bottas replacing Raikkonen because he won there last year.
Like, I have no faith in what I'm about to say, but the lads keep crying saying Bottas is going to do something in Russia, and I was like, why not? The boring fucker might. He has to. Like, it makes no odds to fucking Mercedes if he wins. Do you think if it's a 1-2, will they let Bottas win?
Yeah,
No. I don't think so.
I think they will.
No, I think they will. I think they definitely will because Ferrari have been so bad in the press recently. They're getting hated on left, right, and centre for their treatment of Raikkonen, for how they're failing to win races due to poor strategy, and Toto is crying out for some positive marketing, and allowing Valtteri to win a race and not implementing team orders would bring that.
Josh, you know what's good marketing? A fucking world championship.
It's over since last weekend.
No,
over.
it's not.
It's over.
What?
It's over.
Yeah, Lewis is the world champion. Well, Finton said it was over in Italy after lap 1.
I called it like.
I think that was the defining moment. When Lewis bitch slapped him around the outside, boom. Sit down, go home to your wife and kids.
And enjoy your life, unlike me, the soulless bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, so lads, before we
shall
say goodbye.
A couple of the parish notices and shite like that. I suppose we'll try and bring out an episode Wednesdays. We'll try
every
for
Wednesday.
Sure.
It's not going to be anything as serious as last time. So
fuck it. Right. Anyway,
there won't even be video.
right. Good luck.
Like and
Adios.
subscribe.
Ciao, ciao.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Right,
Bye
lads.
bye.
Shut up and sit down.